Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I am your host. I am the lightest, I am the true light skin. I am the only light skin that really matters. President Light Skin in the building, baby. This is Problematic Light Skin, episode 29. Yeah. I'm so sorry. I get an episode out every week. I've been slacking. I do apologize. It's like if I shoot the pod at a bad time, then what I'll run into is that like I'm not getting the content out from the pod fast enough, right? Because I shoot it on a Thursday. Ideally, I'm supposed to shoot it on a Thursday, edit everything, get it posted on audio and video, and then get clips rolled out through the weekend and through the week. So, and like I don't know, it just if I'm behind on schedule, usually it just be life shit. It just be getting a nigga behind and shit, but it's whatever. But yeah, so this week on the pod, this is just a quick thing, real quick, because I was supposed to mention on last week. But so the Seattle Seahawks won the Super Bowl 60. I do want to formally apologize to Sam Darnold. I have shit on Sam Darnold through the entire season, and for him to finally get the dub, I mean, ideally, I knew the Seattle was going to win, but I was like, just in case, let me put some money on the Patriots, because why not? It just makes sense. But yeah, shout out to Sam Darnold. I apologize to you, sir. When in doubt, Sam Darnold will win the Super Bowl. So shout out to you. Shout out to the Seattle Seahawks. Yeah. So let's get into it this week. Let's talk about this first. It just broke today. Phil Spencer has retired from Xbox, which we already knew he was gonna do, but in a dramatic fashion. Not only did Phil Spencer leave, the girl who was supposed to take his spot, she resigned, which, I'm okay with that. She was always like, I can't remember her name. I'll put a picture of her on the screen, but she's always been like a person that jumps into a company and she kind of just sits, like, to me, honestly, I've seen her track record. I don't know if she's actually grown a company to be better, but she's been in a lot of companies that are like really God, what's the word? That are really big companies. And I've never known her, like, she's like, I remember when I saw it, I was just looking at it, I was like, man, she be, and honestly, I just think she be stacking her resume. She get to these really high points in careers and doesn't really go anywhere from there, but and then she'll just bounce to a new company or whatever. So, but we do have a new head of Xbox. It's Asha Shamar. Asha Shamar. She dropped a statement of how, coming into this role and what's to expect. Honestly, it sounded good. Um, as someone with a business mindset, the things that she was saying didn't scare me away. I love that she addressed AI because she is coming from the AI division when it comes to a part of Copilot, I think. Um, so for her to address that AI shit, even to call it like AI slop, which what was crazy, is that it seems like someone who really wants to focus back on, it really what it sounded like, someone that really wanted to focus back on Xbox being Xbox. And so hopefully she powers through. Look, the final years of Phil Spencer got pretty bad. And I know it was more of probably a Microsoft thing than a Phil thing, but I don't know. Like, Phil could have reassured us more. I just really started to feel like Phil was just kind of like disappearing, just, I know he was maybe, and this is the 25th year of, Xbox. So it's like, I mean, so really surprised that he retired so soon. But, when you about to retire at a job, you just kind of just dip out. But I do know he is going to be an advisor with the company, I think, until next year. But in the meantime, he is stepping down from the role. So, hey, shout out to Phil Spencer. Hey, we need to hold on. Phil Spencer's the GOAT. And what you have to understand about Phil took over Xbox at the worst time. Dan Patrick, damn near fucking destroyed Xbox. Like I was there. I was riding with the motherfuckers with the Xbox One. And Phil came in and he did as best as he could, but I mean, I think the brand took such a big hit. That fucking goddamn how to trade your games with PS4, bro. Like that that shit should have killed Xbox. I mean, it kind of did, but I mean, at the end of the day, I think there's a lot of people that are more into PC gaming and all that. I think that Activision deal took a big toll, and everyone, you know what? Actually, you know what? Let me take that back because I've been wanting to say this for a while. Everyone keeps talking about the Activision deal. Let's talk about that goddamn Bethesda deal. That to me has been like the worst deal ever. Like that deal. Like I mean, ideally, that you have Elder Scrolls you have Elder Scrolls coming out soon, right? But you have Fallout that was kind of dead. If it wasn't for the TV show, I don't think people would be playing it. But I heard the second season not too good, and I need to finish and watch it. But like that Bethesda deal was big. Like that was like a big acquisition. And to me, they haven't really produced anything. I know it's only been a couple years, but it's like, nigga, we ain't got no new Fallout. We ain't got no new Elder Scrolls. Like, we got Starfield. That's it. And that Indiana Jones game, I think. I think that's through Bethesda, like a division of Bethesda. And then Outer Worlds 2. So and they didn't really drop no bangers. And so I'm just like, what are we doing? Like, I might be confused on how game development work, but if I got all these studios, nigga, like we should have had us a Fallout. We should like I understand they want to let Bethesda do their own thing, but Bethesda, it's a reason they were up for sale. Cause like, niggas still selling you Skyrim 30th, 40th, 50th, 60th anniversaries. Like, how many times can you remake the fucking same game 30 times? I mean, it plays great, on Steam Deck and shit, but yeah. So yeah, shout out to Phil Spencer yet again being the GOAT that he is and taking over Xbox at the time that he did. So next up, let's talk Cam Newton. Somebody take the goddamn microphone away from Cam Newton. Please. Is what I would say if he was wrong. If Cam Newton was wrong, then I would say that. I would say take the microphone away. But like Cam has been like he just has like the worst like he gets quoted in the worst of ways because like there's really no context behind what it's not like just Cam just be saying anything, but he really be like there's to a point where I can kind of understand what he's saying, and maybe he should have probably thought about it a little bit differently how he reframed it. Like, you still keep it in the same frame of wording, but you can just say it differently. So if you haven't heard, Cam Newton, ideally, per the quote, is that Cam Newton says women who have multiple children, it lowers their value as a woman. Meaning like, well, he had his meaning why he explained his meaning, but the internet has seen something completely different. That's the thing. Like, if you're if you're trying to be a news organization, you ain't even got to put the truth out there. You just put bullshit out there and you good. So Cam basically was saying, like, you have all these children. So ideally, when you go to date somebody, you love them for everything they got. Mind you, like, imagine she's a single woman with no kids. When you go in to date her, you go in to date her for everything that she's worth. Like you love everything about her and everything that she has, right? But he was saying that after her having 5 kids, like that testament to her isn't there anymore. Cause it's like, I don't know, those kids ain't mine. I don't give a fuck about them kids. I care about you. And so in a way, he was saying that it's deplenishing her value because now that she has 5 kids, the man doesn't want everything that she has, just wants her, and the kids can kind of just sit in another room or some shit like that. So when you hear the exact breakdown, makes sense, right? And that's totally understandable. But if we were just to look at the context of just the quote, is having multiple is a woman having multiple kids, does that deplenish her value? And I would say yes to a point. Yes to a point. As a man that dates women with kids, the only reason I say this because depending on the woman, now I have a quote. I have a quota. Like she can only have two kids. Like she can only have two. The most she can have is two. Three, the pussy better be fine. It better be amazing. Four, no, that's ridiculous. And it's like, and even if she has the two kids, how many baby daddies does she have? Like, is it one? Is it two? Because like, if two niggas already don't want you, I ain't gonna want you either. What did like? 'Cause you had a kid with that nigga. Now I know in some situations women have kids where things are uncontrollable, things are by accident. I mean, I know. Well, I'll never say accident because like it takes two to tango. There's a potential chance you could get pregnant at any time. But I do believe that if women that have more kids, it does deplenish their value. I mean, I remember this girl asked me, and mind you, this girl had kids. She was like, "Oh, if there was a girl that looked just like me, but she didn't have kids, I bet you would date her." And I was like, I would date her over you. And the only reason I say that, because her kid, the girl's kids that I'm talking about, have fucked her up mentally. Like this girl was never meant to have, she was never meant to have kids. And she is like, her depression is high, her self-esteem is low. Like it's all over. Her having kids might have been the worst thing in her life. Maybe she might not realize that, but I see that. And yeah, I would date a single version of her because you without kids might have probably been more fun and more, uplifting and delightful to be around. This bitch, nah, you depressing. You ain't got no self esteem. You think a nigga cheating on you? Like, damn, like it's all type of shit. Like that's the energy she brings. But there's other things I don't want to like put her business out there. But it's just that it's like some women become this different person after they have a kid. Some become stronger, and some women become weaker. Like some women become alcoholic. I know a couple. um, they leave their kids with their mama. They leave their kids with their grandmama. Well, the grandma's dead now. She just leave it with her mom. So it be like that. It's like you can't really spend time with her because she with her kids, and so I mean, the more kids you have, yeah, I would say it deplenishes the value of you. And I know everyone's in their head like, oh, what does that say about men? I mean, men have another aspect of things that the value their value when it comes to like diseases and STDs and how many baby mamas they have. Like, why do you have all these baby mamas? Like, and why you ain't taking care of none of your kids? Like, there's a bigger story to that as well. But it just in what we're talking about now, yeah, I do feel like women having more kids is a devalue to them. And whether it's a mental state, physical state, I mean, eh, I've never met a woman who had 6 kids and the body still looked good. It's really rare. It's really rare. I'm not gonna lie to you, and I'm not one to judge, but it's just like, I mean, how many times can you keep pushing this little nigga out? How many times can you keep pushing the kid out until you make your LeBron or until you make your Elon Musk? You know what I'm saying? So that's just my personal take. So Cam is kind of right, and Cam, I'm about to stand by it. So, but next up, let's talk Black History. It is Black History Month. I have not done any Black History, and I do apologize. But we want to add a new member to the Black History list. Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan now is officially a part of Black History. Black History is an idea. Now, okay, hold on. Some people want Black History gone because in their terms of things, they want Black History to be talked about all year. If you don't give us a month, nigga, ain't nobody talking about Black History. Ain't nobody bringing up Black History Month. It's just like then we just become an everyday thing. Like, what are we fucking math? Like, what is this reading? Like, what is this Chipotle? Everyday life? No. We need a month that celebrates us. The gays get it, the blacks get it. Hell, the Mexicans get it. The Indians get it. Why can't we get it? Why can't we just acknowledge our people and show how great? Now, if you've ever done research on Black history, there's a lot of like first this, first this, first this. I mean, like it was kind of hard not to make it onto the list, right? But it's not about who's first. It's about how that person impact the world, and also I can almost completely forgot. Rest in peace to Jesse Jackson. It is Black History Month. Way to go. way to for your life to end on the blackest month possible. Like, what a fantastic way to go. Like, you know what? If I die, it got to be in February. I died in February. But yeah, Jesse Jackson has passed. A man, part of Black history, the first man to run for president and damn near almost win. Like, I wouldn't have been shocked if he would have won. You know, I'm sure the system was in play for him not to win, but that's what Obama was for. But yeah, so let's talk about our new inductee into the Black History Hall of Fame, Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan, welcome to the Black History Hall of Fame. I mean, Jordan was already Black history as it is. You know, just the fucking athletic mindset. You know, we won't talk about other things that happened the day that he became the first Black owner to win a Daytona 500. This is pretty big because in a sport where it's predominantly white. All right, like a lot of sports that I think of that are predominantly white, snowboarding, maybe, let's see, snowboarding, NASCAR, whatever, right? But yeah, Michael Jordan won. He is now another champion. LeBron ain't doing that. LeBron need to retire now and create a car club, and then maybe he might win some. Who knows? But yeah, shout out to Michael Jordan, and that's all we're gonna talk about with that. We're not gonna go into any other detail. Just Michael Jordan is now part of Black history. All right. But I know the thing about Black history. A lot of people get upset, like, oh, why do we gotta celebrate Black people? Bro, understand, like, at the time of like when slavery, segregation was there was no chance for Black people to do anything. And I'm gonna put it in the easiest terms for you to understand Black history. Imagine there was somebody you liked, that you had a crush on, that you was in love with, and you wanted to be with that person. Like, man, they make you smile, they make you happy, all that. But they said they wouldn't date you because you were your skin color. So insert said skin color, whatever it was, black, white, green, blue, silver, whatever. And you hear that, like, what the fuck? Like, it's like, what the fuck? Like, it's like, because of my skin color? Like, oh, I don't date black guys. I don't date black girls. I don't date white guys. I don't date white girls. But what does that have to do with my personality and who I am to you? Oh, I know, but that's just my preference. Right? So this person that you have these feelings for, and you always see them in relationships, they always end bad, whether it's a girl always getting her ass kicked or some guy always getting mistreated by a woman. It's like you always see this, and it's like in your head you think, man, maybe if you gave me a fucking opportunity, I would show you how amazing I could be to you. Well, that's fucking slavery, bitch. That is entire slave. Black people is just trying to show that they are worth as much as a white person. They like their value as much as a white person, even though it was considered 3/5 of a person, which is insane. Like 3/5 of a person is like the size of Ant-Man. All right, like, I don't even think it's that big. I think it's even smaller than that. But That's all black people want to do is show you that, hey, we could do this too. It's like, maybe like a white person had an idea, but he couldn't calculate it. And he went to all his other white friends and they couldn't understand what the fuck he was talking about. And then maybe 10 years, 20 years down the line, a black person creates this idea that he wanted to create because he couldn't articulate how to create whatever he was trying to create. But a black person came in and did it. Now that white person is going to be upset at that black person because now that he has these rights, he's like, well, fuck, that was my idea. That's what I wanted to do. This black mother. And it's not that. It's just that when you segregate yourself and only surround yourself with like-minded people, you will never expand outside that bubble because everyone around you is you. And it's like you all think alike, you all dress alike, you all act alike. So when you don't bring someone new into the mix, like you can't expand, you can't brainstorm like you should. So black people were being held back. While you were holding us back, we was creating these ideas, the way to create, a refrigerator or a scalpel to do cataract surgery or create the light bulb or, a lot of other amazing things. And that's what happens when we segregate people. That's what happens when we segregate ideas uh, and creativity. This is what happens. You lose out because you didn't hire a black person to be a part of your brainstorming team, and you could have been the millionaire, not a black millionaire. So it's a month to acknowledge how hard it was for people, like, because people can't comprehend slavery and they act like this shit wasn't just. My mother was alive during segregation times. Okay, God forbid my grandmother, she's passed, but she was born during racist segregation, all that shit, beat by a white man. But like, and then the people that grow up now just can't comprehend, like, oh, it's like, bro, like you had no chance. You being black, you had no chance. Even if you was the smartest motherfucker in the city, you had no chance because you was black. Make that make sense? You can't. All because of your skin color. That's crazy. So when you hear people say they want to get rid of black history, fuck them. Nah, I need my history. I need to know my people. Like the woman who created rock and roll. She, like, no one brings her up. Sister, I can't think of her name right now. I'm sorry. I'm frustrated. But she created rock and roll that inspired Elvis, that inspired Lil Richie, that created your Metallicas and your Aerosmiths and all that shit. Like, bruh, give black people their props. Give us our goddamn month and shut the fuck up. All right. I've said what I said. All right. Let's get into it. So next up, a little fun thing I wanted to do. I didn't think I was gonna go too crazy with the Black History, but I guess I did more than I thought. So, I got a list for you. These are the top 5 names to ruin your daughter's fucking life. Oh, hold up, sorry. Okay, so these are the top 5 names to ruin your daughter's life as she grows up through and lives her fucked up life now. So these are the top 5 names. Look, I was literally because I was literally looking at this girl. Her name was Sage. And I was like, man, looking at her, I bet you she a freak. And every time, I started thinking about it, I was like, man, every time I seen a girl named Sage, she either got some tattoos, she yellow bones, she probably crazy ass freak. And it made me think, all right, let me put this list together. So yeah, this is a top 5 list of names you could name your daughter to ruin her life, and Sage is gonna be number 1. All right, because looking at her, and like look, you can see some girl like she was beautiful, and it's like, all right, cool. Hey, what's your name? Sage. Oh, nah, she definitely a freak. Any female named after an insect Definitely a freak. Next up, we got Brianna. You name your daughter Brianna? Oh shit, it's over. I ain't never met a Brianna that wasn't a freak. That's like the most common name, and that's the most common freaks I find. It's like, damn, like this, and oh, don't let her call herself Bree. Ooh. I remember I knew this Brianna. I don't want to go into too much detail, but she was a virgin. But she did butt stuff, right? and, and I remember she told me that shit, and I was like, not as wait, so you've been like with a bunch of dudes, but you just been having them go through the second hole and not the first one? Like, bro, you put your you put yourself in the situation that you not at that point you're not a virgin. Like niggas is coming through your butthole. Like that's crazy. That's crazy. So yet again, yeah, naming your daughter Brianna might ruin her fucking life. Oh, here's another one, Ashley. I ain't never met an Ashley that wouldn't you know, a 304 or a wild one. Let's put it like that. Ashley is just a name. Like I don't even understand the point of name. Like you must have never met an Ashley. All I know is Ashleys that just do wild shit. That's a crazy name, and like nothing about Ashley even sounds appealing as a name. Ashley, the fuck. I mean, I remember I knew this boy in school. His name was Ashley. That was crazy. Yeah, he was definitely a boy. It was before like all the transitioning stuff. So it was definitely a boy. I understood. Destiny. Ah, yeah. Cause it's like, Ashley ain't bad. You probably get away with Ashley. Brianna is a little struggle, but nah. Destiny. I knew some destinies. I knew some destinies, and they was wild. Like you see that name, expect the unexpected. Last but not least, Emma. Naming your daughter Emma, yeah. Either she wild, she one of them girls, or she just bad in general. But yeah, Emma, that's a no go. So yeah, so these were the top 5 names you could name your daughter to ruin her life: Sage, Brianna, Ashley, Destiny, and Emma. Jesus Christ. To all the girls, name that. You might need some therapy. You might need some Jesus. All right, we are almost done. This is just a little side note. FD Signifer, FD Signifer. Now the whole controversy behind him, and I just want to talk about it real quick. I didn't get a chance to see his video. It was so crazy. I've never seen any of his videos. I didn't even know about the brother. But funny enough, I got suggested his Tyler Perry video, and I put it in my save later, and because I was like, oh, you know, I love a little essay on like celebrities. That should be fun. But funny enough, video got taken down. And but I did hear that it is getting back up. So shout out to that young man attacking Tyler Perry at any cost. Is always great. But not more of attacking, but just more of like showing light to how Tyler Perry's messaging can be very disrespectful to black folk. Like it really can. It's an over analyzation. And if you've seen that Boondocks episode, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But Tyler Perry can do this over I can't even think of the word. I can't even think of the word right now. But anyways, he will over expose or explain black people in the way that he wants to, and he'll do it through Medea and shit. And I love that this video touches on that. So y'all make sure y'all go check out FD Signifier's video when it comes back up on YouTube. I have seen it on TikTok, so y'all check that out. It's a really in depth. It's really in depth. I'm not gonna lie to you. Let's talk about so these Epstein files. Oh man, it's just so much coming out with these Epstein files. Prince Andrew's gotten arrested. Um, but the biggest thing I saw was Epstein was, I guess he I so the owner of the so basically the school pictures that you do, Life Choice, I think that's what it is, Life Choice. The owner of that was funded money from Epstein. Um, I had to pull up the whole doc, but this is just kind of like a brief thing. I literally saw this last week, and I wanted to talk about it. And I wanted to blame all the parents because I remember I hated Picture Day growing up, and who knew that Picture Day was owned by a man that hangs around Epstein, accepts money from Epstein, and this company takes pictures of all children of all different ages. And I can only imagine where these pictures and databases go. And maybe it's used to identify potential targets to invite to an island. I have no idea. That's just speculation, allegedly. But yeah, I knew Picture Day was a piece of shit. It took some time to find out why. All right, so let's get into this review real quick. We're gonna do a review for Crime 101. I saw it this past weekend. Crime 101. So, okay, when I hear the name Crime 101, I think a class. I think you're teaching me how to be a criminal. And that's not at all what this movie is. This movie is starring Chris Hemsworth, Mark Ruffalo, and Halle Berry. Um, three underutilized roles. And I'm gonna just say, to get this review quickly. This movie was fucking boring. I'm not gonna lie to you. It got to a point in this movie where I just like started scrolling on TikTok. At the beginning of this movie, we see Chris Hemsworth's character start to like de-shed himself. He's shedding himself of old hair, old skin, or maybe like skin, dead skin or whatever. And when I was looking at that, I was, oh, we're getting this is criminal. Like we doing some real criminal shit. I like. And then we get into our first heist. I'm not gonna spoil it, but it was pretty like, okay, this is pretty planned out. It's just him, it's just Chris Hemsworth. I was like, okay, Then the crime happens, doesn't go the way things are supposed to go. Something happens before he gets to the garage. Like you'll see it when it's happening. That I didn't understand why. I don't know. And and then we meet more characters. I can't think of the old man, but basically there's like this old man that he goes to. He turns in, I guess to like sell whatever they stole, and basically he's giving him the jobs and stuff like that. But what's confusing down the line is that it's really Chris Hemsworth that's creating like he's designing the jobs, and I don't know. The movie is really confusing, and the character Chris plays, I feel like there was like a rewrite on this, like because when we really get to know Chris, we don't really get to know him, but like when we see his character, every time we see his character, he seems kind of like he seems confident in himself, but then again he's like really shy. Like he'll come across women that like he's like talking with this night streetwalker, and he's like really nervous and shy. And he meets this girl. He's kind of nervous to like maybe ask her out on a date. But when he meets fucking Halle Berry, this man got the confidence in the world. And I don't know if the movie's trying to sell me because he's so handsome, he's like he he might have something else going on with him. I don't know. I don't know what the movie was trying to explain. It was so confusing because I was like, this man is like handsome. And, like I said, when he was talking to Halle Berry, he was just so confident. But all the other women he was like really struggling with. And I was just like, what are y'all trying to like express with this character? Um, and then And the other issue that I had with this movie that there was really nobody else that knew Chris, like the Chris's character, besides the old man, right? Like we get I can't think of the boy's name, but he plays well, he was going to play Joker in the Batman. I think his name is Barry something. I can't think of it. Well, anyways, in the movie, he's like the other robber, and but those two don't know each other. He just knows that he works with the old guy that he works with, and I don't know. It was just honestly so confusing. Like I really had maybe a different idea of when going into this movie. Like none of the heists actually ever go as planned. These got to be like like I said, for a movie that's called Crime 101, has the worst crime in the movie. Like everything just goes to shit. And I don't know if that's what they're trying to express there. Like no matter how detailed and planned you can get, everything can go bad. But no, I just think it's these motherfuckers just suck at the job. And it said, and they keep, and they would describe to you and tell you like, oh, well, he's hit all these jobs. I'm like, can we see those? Because those look more successful than what the fuck is going on in this movie right now. Mark Ruffalo's character, um, he's a upbeat, you know, divorcee, doing yoga and shit. Um, and it seemed like he's pretty spot on about the Chris's character about catching him but it seems like nobody wants to give him the benefit of the doubt that he's right. Everyone keeps telling him like, "Oh, bro, you're doing too much. You're doing too much, man." Like, and in the moment, something happens in the movie, it kind of like tilts the scales of like wrong or right. He leads down the right path, but if you were to go based upon his partner's ideology, our character Mark Ruffalo should be a bad guy, should do some very corrupt shit to get the win, but he's not. But that's like what his partner portrays him to be. Like, kind of like I don't know. Like this movie was like really all over the place. It was really confusing me. I was like, damn, what the fuck is happening in this movie? This review sounds confusing because the movie is confusing. I was so confused through the whole movie. I'm just like, what is happening? Like, I don't know. Like Crime 101 was not what I expected going into it. The trailers were okay. You know what? Even the trailer even spoils like one of the big reveals. And it's like, what the fuck are we doing? Oh my god. Like, look, and then at the very beginning of this movie, it shows that it was an MGM Amazon Prime movie. So I think maybe they put it in theaters because it was Chris Hemsworth, Halle Berry, and Mark Ruffalo. But this movie should have definitely went bound Prime. I should have not had spent the money I spent to go see this movie. It definitely did not. There was nothing interesting. There was really no action in this movie. There was like a chase scene, but it was alright. It wasn't like anything crazy. Um, so yeah, Crime 101. I'm gonna give it a 2 out of 5. I've never been so confused doing a review. You know, for a character that didn't really have much character to him, I would have loved to see like more characters around Chris. Like maybe there's people that he knew, like that we could know, and maybe they could explain to somebody what's wrong with him or what's I don't know. Like just throw the whole fucking movie away at this point. I just didn't enjoy it. And again, I thought it was boring. I didn't enjoy the characters. The heist in this movie, they're not heists. The movie portrays them as heists, but these got to be the worst criminals I done ever fucking seen. All right, I'm more successful in GTA than these motherfuckers are in the fucking movie. Anyway, so yeah, that's Crime 101. It is a 2 out of 5 for me. It's just a no go. I don't even know if I would watch it if it was just out. I'm like, bro, just throw the movie away. You have Chris Hemsworth. I was expecting him to be fighting motherfuckers, like something. Like, what was the point? You could have just had anybody else. Hell, Baby Driver was a better heist movie than this. That was what the fuck? All right, so last but not least, I wanted to do a review of Olivia Dean. Okay, let me get her. Let me get her album notes out. So just the other week, I talked about Olivia Dean being the brand new artist, new artist of the year or whatever the fuck the actual thing is. Um, all right, so this is going to be a review of Olivia Dean, The Art of Loving, and I have my notes here. I wrote them on a piece of fucking paper. Um, The Art of Loving is a very it's a very beautiful album from the perspective of a girl that not only has her heart broken, but she still has the confidence in herself, right? Which I love. It's a lot of women that can lose confidence in themselves after a breakup. And with her, I like to think of like after a breakup, sometimes closing a door helps heal the soul. And so when I'm hearing her album, it reminds me of those times that I was in relationships where things didn't end well, and I wish I had closure. Um, and this album, I felt like I got closure to those relationships on her perspective. That might sound weird, but it's like as if the person I was dating was putting their energy through Olivia's Dean, and I'm finally hearing their point of view through her. And I think that's what resonated with me very well with this album is that it felt very personal. It felt very real. Sometimes you can lose it. You can lose the sense of realism as artists get bigger. And I will say one thing about Olivia Dean: if she keeps this up, she gonna be like on a Dale level of shit. Now Dale has like a more dynamic voice than she does, but I think Olivia Dean carries herself very well. Like she's a very beautiful woman. Her vocals are amazing, and they pair well with the sound that she goes with. A lot of the instruments that are being used, um, from the brass to the pianos being played. Um, this is definitely a Lover Girls album, and it gives like that uh Afro Afro soul feel vibe, and I really love this album for that. Now, a couple songs that a couple songs that sorry, I said Afro soul. Yeah, now again it says yeah Afro neo soul type vibe, R&B ish. Couple songs that I really loved from this track have to be Loud, Baby Steps. I love Baby Steps. And a couple minutes. I think that's the name of the album. I mean the name of the song. But overall, then again, I do feel like this album is a great source of music. I feel like there was something more I was wanting from it. I don't really know what it is. Um, this album doesn't suffer from too many songs syndrome. I think it's a like a right nice package. I haven't really heard Olivia Dean's catalog before, so I can't say if she's grown as an artist or if she's still stagnant. But I know going forward, I will be watching that. And I just think overall, I think this album is so beautiful. If you don't know who Olivia Dean is, I think this is your opportunity to get to know her, get to listen to her. I said it before that she gave me the vibe of like Selena and Whitney Houston. Like not voice wise, but like more the aesthetic of, kind of walking in the room and catching everybody's attention. And Olivia Dean definitely feels like that. And when you hear her voice sounds amazing. And I've heard a lot of her voice like on the acoustic levels and stuff. And so um I think she's definitely an artist to keep your eye on and, you know, want to watch more of. So Olivia Dean, The Art of Loving. I'm gonna give it a solid. I'm gonna give it a 3.5 out of 5. I don't like to do decimals, but it's like I can't give it a 4 or a 5. It's not like an album that I'm like, this is the best album. This is the best album of the year. No, it's I do love her voice. I do love the music, her sound, everything. But I just right now I do feel like this is not the masterpiece that she has that she will potentially eventually make. But I do feel like this is a great piece of work that will add to her catalog. And you know, a lot of the songs on her album you've probably heard. There like so many TikToks and everything, and I just yeah. So I think this album is really great. It's something I would love to listen to. I listen to often, a lot more, but it's not to me what I call a vinyl purchase grade of album. And but yeah, I am truly a fan of Olivia Dean now. This is definitely um I'm definitely glad I got to experience this album and get to experience her as well. So Olivia Dean, The Art of Loving is a 3.5 out of 5. But yeah, that is it for the review. Thank you for watching. All right. So yeah, that's my review for Olivia Dean's The Art of Loving. And yet again, like I said, it's a really good album. There's just more I wanted from it. Um, you know, like that live band. I wish they would have like played more of that live band and maybe you know, like I don't know, like there's like there's an art to creating an album. It's very important. So, but yeah, that is it for the pod. Kind of went a little bit longer than I wanted to, but yeah, that is it. Let me make sure. Let me go over my notes. Yeah, I think that is it. But yeah, that is it for Problematic Light Skin episode 29. I'm your host, President Lightskin. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to shoot me a like, follow, whatever. Thanks for listening to the pod or watching the pod. Make sure you guys check out those clips that I'm definitely going to be dropping from the pod. But yeah, that is it. Good night.